Welcome to the North Dakota Department of Commerce Economic Resiliency Grant Application Portal. To begin the application process, click on the Sign In button on the right-hand side of your screen. Select the Register tab. Create an account using an email address associated with your business. Enter a unique password, confirm the password, and register your account. Review the terms and conditions and the cookies disclosure. Select the I agree box and click Continue. Select the blue Confirm Email link. Email verification is required to continue in the portal. Enter your first name, last name, and Social Security number, which are all required. Select the Update button to update your profile in the portal. Once the email confirmation is received, click the Complete Registration button in the body of the email. This will notify you that you have successfully registered your email address. To begin the application process, select the Home button. Then select the Create Application button. Complete the business name that is applying for the grant program. Enter the tax identification number. It will either be an EIN provided by the IRS, a tribal number, a state tax ID number, or a Social Security number, which is for sole proprietors only. Select the Save button. Your business will be verified. Select the Next button. The next page is for taxpayer information. Your name as the primary contact and applicant has been brought over. Complete the remaining fields with your title, your phone number, and select your relationship to the business from the drop-down list. Complete the physical address information for your business located in North Dakota. There is a magnifying glass next to the city field. Select it, and a search box will open. Begin typing in the name of your city in the search field. Once you locate it, put a check mark next to the name of the city and select the Select button. If your mailing address is the same as your physical location address, select the Same as Physical Address button, and those fields will populate for you. Enter the number of employees you had at the physical location on January 1st, 2020, and below that, enter the number of employees you currently have at the physical location today. Select the Next button to continue. The application page has several Yes, Agree or No, Disagree fields and several fields to pick a response from a list. Review each question and select the appropriate response by clicking the down arrow in the field. If you have received funding for your business, select the response that best fits that type, all, partial, or no funding. If you select partial, a required description field will display. There are two NAICS fields for primary code and level 2 code. Use the magnifying glass to search for the NAICS code that best defines your business the same way you searched for the city. Always use an asterisk in the search field to expand the search results. Enter a business conducted description and select the Next button to continue. On the Facilities page, the original facility location information you entered at the beginning of the application will be displayed. If you have additional locations in North Dakota, you can add them by clicking on the Add Location button. A dialog box opens. Complete the required fields and click the Submit button at the bottom of the page for the additional location. Any locations you add will be displayed in the grid. Click the Next button to move to the next page of the application. On the Qualified Expenditures page, you will itemize each eligible expense that you have made or will make to reduce the spread of infection due to COVID-19. The eligible amount you qualify for is based on the number of locations you submitted. A single location is eligible for up to $50,000. If you entered more than one location, the maximum award you qualify for is $100,000. The expenses you enter must be direct investments into your business that have had an impact on reducing the spread of infection. Each eligible expense you enter will be reviewed by the Department of Commerce to be certain it meets the eligibility requirements. Each expense line item will be added one at a time. Click the Add Expenditure button to begin. The Add Expenditure form has several required fields, a lookup field, and a date picker. Begin by entering the description of the qualifying purchase. Next, describe how this purchase qualifies for the ERG program. Enter the vendor of the purchase or who provided the bid, quote, or estimate. Using the lookup field, select the expenditure type. Only those values in this list apply and are eligible expenditures. If you have a bid, quote, or estimate, leave the date field blank. If you are submitting a receipt, use the date picker and enter the date on your receipt. Select whether you are supplying a receipt or a quote, estimate, or bid. Enter the total amount on the receipt. If the receipt has more than one qualifying expenditure type on it, that receipt will need to be uploaded and used for each qualifying expenditure line item you enter. Enter the qualifying purchase. Only include the value of the line item in this expenditure. Remember, sales tax is not an applicable qualifying purchase. All sales tax must be removed from the qualifying portion of the purchase. Enter the non-qualifying portion of the purchase from the receipt. Select Continue once complete. You must add an individual receipt, bid, or estimate for each line item expense you are requesting through the grant. The name of your purchase is displayed in the attachment screen. Click the Browse button to locate the attachment on your computer. Select the receipt and click Continue to add the attachment to your expenditure. The Qualified Expenditures screen will refresh and display the line item you added. To add additional expenses, click the Add Expenditure button and repeat the process. Remember, you must add one line item for each qualified expense you are applying for. Once all line item expenditures are entered into the system and displayed in the grid, select the Next button to go to the next page of the application. The next several pages of the application process are certifications. Again, the available responses are yes, agree, or no, disagree for each field. The first page certifies that your business was financially viable based on the following information in these 4 questions. Note, there are certain circumstances on the certification pages where a response may disqualify you from the application process. Be certain to read each question accurately and answer with the appropriate response based on your situation. Once the first page is complete, select the Next button. The second page of certifications are questions around how your business was financially negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, read each question and select the appropriate response. Once complete, select the Next button. The next page of certifications is requesting that you acknowledge that you read and understand the requirements regarding the improvements that are eligible for the ERG grant application. Review each question and enter the appropriate response. Once complete, select the Next button. The final page is the obligations page. Please review each obligation and certify that the information you've entered into this application is true and accurate, and that you will use the funds, if awarded, as you proposed in your grant application, that you will provide receipts as requested, and if you fail to spend the funds accurately, you will return or repay them. Once complete, select the Next button. The final page of the application is an overall review for you to be sure you've entered your information accurately. Scroll through the list of responses, and at the bottom of the page, if no changes are needed, click the Submit button. If you need to make changes, click the Previous button and return to the page where the changes are needed. Once submitted, you will have another acknowledgement box. Review the information and click the Submit button. This confirms that they have received your application. Return to the home page. It will display a list of applications once they are submitted. You will be able to view the current status of your application in the grid. Each time you log in and return to the application portal, you can determine if additional steps are required and what stage your application is in. There are 4 possible stages for an application: submitted, under review, awarded, or on hold awaiting additional information. As the Department of Commerce reviews your application and the submitted backup documentation for expenses, additional information for that documentation may be requested. The applicant will receive an email from the Department of Commerce requesting that they return to the portal and provide specific additional information outlined in the email. For example, they may request a more detailed receipt or bid. The details will be in the email. There will be a link in the email that will bring you back to the portal homepage. When you log in, the status reason for your application will say, "On hold, awaiting additional info." Click the link on the application line to open the application. The line item details for each expense are listed. Remember, each expense must have documentation attached or a valid receipt if the items are already purchased. The line item in question by the Department of Commerce will have an Add Info button. This will enable the applicant to add the requested information in the email. When the button is selected, a dialog box opens. It will list the details initially submitted with the expense. Scroll to the bottom and upload the additional documentation requested in the email. Include a description for the expense and search for the attachment. Once selected, click Continue and Save Expenditure. Once all line items are complete, select the Resubmit button. Select Proceed, and you will receive a confirmation that your application has been resubmitted to the Department of Commerce for consideration.